Okay, let's talk about the new Umbreon, the Sunbreon, whatever you want to call him. Is he the next Umbreon VMAX? Where do I think he's going to be going price-wise? We're going to be talking in US dollars because that does seem to be the currency of Pokemon and the easiest comparison to go with. So in the background, to fit the theme, I've got a few selection of nice Umbreons. We've got the Umbreon XY promo, massively underrated. Definitely a Umbreon, you can see it in the background there. Beautiful card. In a 10, this is a ridiculous price. I only got it in a 9 and a few 8s, so hoping for that 10, the next one that I send off. We got the Karen's Umbreon VMAX, love that, as well as the Umbreon V, both from Brilliant Stars, and the Tag All Stars Japanese high class set, Umbreon and Darkrai tag team. This is like the secret rare alternate art version basically. Anyway, where do I think the pricing of this is going? So as of the point of recording, Prismatic Evolutions one is about a $600 card on a PSA 10 and a $300 card raw, so doubling your price from raw to PSA 10 if you can get it. The Umbreon VMAX from Evolving Skies is whatever ridiculous price it is now, $2,000 in a PSA 10. There's been a number of sales at, so very, very expensive. So first things first, naturally, as with all the sets, the Japanese is not going to be worth as much as the English just due to demand. Albeit, I know everyone says, and I do agree with it, that the artwork is better in Japanese with regards to the texturing. The texture in the Japanese print is just better. Obviously, the artwork is the same, but how it's made, it just shimmers so much nicer. So no matter what, the English one from Prismatic Evolutions is going to be worth more. Now, out the gate, obviously, as per usual, the Prismatic one's going to be an extortionate price and then come down with time, but it all depends on pull rates. As for the Japanese so far, obviously we've seen that the Sunbreon isn't massively difficult to pull, but it's also not easy. It's not as hard as the Umbreon from Eevee Heroes, which was the same as Evolving Skies, harder pull rates I would say. But there's a lot more demand at the moment, so whilst this demand is high, the price is still going to maintain high. I can't see these prices overtaking the Evolving Skies, Eevee Heroes ones at the start. There's no way. That'd just be ridiculous. The pull rates are higher, and they're just not as rare because they're still available. They're still in print essentially. We know where the Japanese one's sitting at the moment. The English one, I can't see it being more than, let's say, $700-800 in raw, and then probably about $1,200-1,300 in a PSA 10 right out the gate. Whether it changes will all depend on pull rates, which we don't know, so that is purely speculation. The ones that we do know is the Japanese, so I do think it will hold steady now, because we're not getting a new print run until later on in 2025, of which we don't know the pull rates from that either. And whilst people are just on Terrestrial Festival and no Prismatic, people are just cracking them packs and absolutely loving it. Let's be honest, it's going to follow the same trend as the Umbreon pretty much. It will probably take a steady decline after release, hold, then steadily rise, then have a massive sharp rise, because that's how things work in this hobby. A bit of a dip, but still be higher than the point where it started before that rally, and continuously do that as people keep returning to the set, as it goes out of print, and as it becomes more and more harder to get hold of these cards. And the only other thing that potentially plays into this is grading with regards to the PSA 10. Depends on the print quality in English. If the print quality is brilliant, and you got, again, same thing as the Umbreon, 10,000 plus copies of the PSA 10, then you're going to see a similar price fluctuation. However, with previous Scarlet and Violet sets, the print quality hasn't been amazing. Obviously, the most recent is Surgeon Sparks, and that has been better than most prior sets. However, this is a specialty set, and the last specialty set we got was 151, and the print quality for that was pretty poor. Well, I'd say better than previous Scarlet and Violet, not as good as Surgeon Sparks. And that's why PSA 10s from 151 charge a high price, because the print quality isn't very good. It's normally the corners that get caught, which pretty much knock it down to a 9 straight away for the white nick in one of the corners. So those are all the factors that are going to impact it. That's my price predictions. We might revisit this at a later date. So glad I pulled this card from some boxes. If you haven't seen that video, go and watch it now. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the pricing in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.